Dear students, today we will discuss the rule of the road, part second. I am your English teacher, Anupama Sharma from Government High School Bhotna, District Barnala. Recapitulation of part 1. We have the liberty to do what we like, but our liberty should not interfere with the liberty of others. If every man were free to do what he likes, there would be chaos everywhere. The rule of the road means that to preserve the liberties of all, the liberties of everybody must be curtailed. That is what a policeman on the road does. Liberty is not a personal affair. It is a compromise of or social contract. We are free in matters which don't touch the liberty of anyone, but matters which affect the liberty of others, we have to curtail our liberty. We should never do anything that can cause discomfort to those around us. For example, we should not talk aloud while traveling in a train if someone sitting close to us wants to read or do something in quiet. A reasonable consideration for the rights of others is the foundation of social conduct. Now we will start reading the text. A reasonable consideration for the rights or feelings of others is the foundation of social conduct. Let us take the guitar as an illustration again. A man who wants to learn to play on it is entitled to learn it in his own house, even though he is a nuisance to his neighbors. But it is his business to make the nuisance as slight as possible. He must practice in the attic and shut the window. That means our liberty should not come in the way of liberties of others. He has no right to sit in his front room, open the window, and blow his noise into his neighbor's ear with the maximum of violence. You are interfering with the liberties of your neighbors if you don't do what you can to limit the noise to your own household. Your neighbors may prefer to have Sunday afternoon undisturbed, and it is as great an impertinence for you to willfully trespass on their peace as it would be to go unasked into their gardens and trample on their flower beds. There are cases, of course, where the clash of liberties seem to defy compromise. My dear old friend X, who lives in West End Square and who is an amazing mixture of good nature and irascibility, flies into a passion when he hears a street piano and rushes out to order it away. But nearby lives a distinguished lady of romantic, picturesque tastes who dotes on street pianos and attracts them as wasps are attracted to a jar of jam. Whose liberty in this case should surrender to the other? For the like of me, I cannot say. It is as reasonable to like street pianos as to dislike them, and vice versa. I would give much to hear Sancho Panza's solution of such a nice riddle. Sancho Panza is a character who represents reality. In a nutshell, we may say that our liberties should not become burdensome to others. We should respect the authority as well as we should respect the freedom of others also. Now we will discuss the meaning of difficult words. The first word is banal. It is an adjective. It means ordinary and not interesting. And the sentence for it is, it was a banal write-up. Next word is irascibility. It is a noun. It means rudeness and angry temper. Sentence for this word is, their irascibility is the cause of his frequent quarrels. The next word is dot on. It is a verb, love or like excessively. She doted on her child. Trespass. Again, it is a verb. To go into someone's private land without permission. It was written on the board, trespassing is prohibited. Now again, we will start reading the text. I suppose the fact is that we can neither be complete anarchists nor complete socialists in this complex world. We must be a judicious mixture of both. We have both liberties to preserve our individual liberty and our social liberty. I shall not permit any authority to say that my child must go to this school or that, shall specialize in science or arts, shall play cricket or soccer. These things are personal. But if I proceed to say that my child shall have no education at all, that he shall be brought up as a primeval savage or at Mr. Fagin's Academy for pickpockets, then society will politely but firmly tell me that it has no use for primeval savages and a very stern objection to pickpockets, and that my child must have a certain minimum of education whether I like it or not. I cannot have the liberty to be nuisance to my neighbors or make my child a burden and a danger to the commonwealth. It is in the small matters of conduct, in the observance of the rule of the road, that we pass judgment upon ourselves and declare that we are civilized or uncivilized. The great moments of heroism and sacrifice are rare. That means we should contribute to the society while enjoying our liberty. It is the little habits of commonplace intercourse that make up the great sum of life and sweeten or make bitter the journey. I hope my friend in the railway carriage will reflect on this. So, the writer wants to highlight a fact that we have rights to enjoy our liberty, but we should care for the freedom and happiness of others while enjoying our own liberty. Because freedom is for everyone and everybody. Now, we will learn the meaning of some difficult words. Savage. It is an adjective, very cruel and violent. The punishment given to John seemed a little too savage. Your next word is primeval savage. It is a noun. An uncivilized brute belonging to the earliest ages. Man has evolved a long way from the primeval savage to become a master of universe. The next word is nuisance. It is again a noun. It means problem, something that causes annoyance. I cannot tolerate this nuisance of a dog in the house. The next word is judicious. It is an adjective, intelligent or wise. His judicious handling of the case saved the situation from getting worse. Now we will discuss the question answers and exercise related to this chapter. Your first question is, what is the basis of social contract? The basis of social contract is to care for the rights of others. Next question is, we should be judicious mixture of both. What does the writer mean by this statement? There can neither be a complete social liberty nor complete individual liberty. So, we should be judicious mixture of both social liberty and individual liberty. What is the theme of the essay, The Rule of the Road? Explain. Answer is, liberty is not a personal affair. It is a social contract. Our personal liberty must not become a cause of nuisance for others. It is good to have personal liberty, but we must have reasonable consideration for the rights of others. Only then we can sweeten the journey of life. Next question is, describe in your own words how the writer was disturbed during his train journey. Answer is, during his train journey, the writer wanted to read a blue book or an official book, but Two men boarded the train and sat next to him. One of them started talking loudly. He kept talking irrelevantly all the time. He made it impossible for the writer to continue with his reading. Next question is, liberty is not a personal affair only but a social contract. Explain. Answer is, liberty is not a personal affair. It is a social contract. Unrestrained personal liberty can lead to chaos only. A personal liberty should not intrude into the liberty of others. It should not become a nuisance for others. In order to sweeten the journey of life, we should have a reasonable regard for the liberty of others. Now match the phrases in column A with their meaning in column B. Pointed out in column B, the proper meaning of the phrase may be given or not be given. Pointed out, to ignore, of course, to have liking for, to have a fancy for, without doubt, to be indifferent to, showed, explained. The proper meaning of pointed out is showed, explained. Of course, without doubt. To have a fancy for, to have a liking for. To be indifferent to ignore. Again, we have to match the proper meaning with the given phrase in column A. To occur, to think about, to look after, to come out quickly, to fly into a passion, to come to mind, to rush out, to go mad, to reflect on, to take care of. Now to occur, to come to mind, to look after, to take care of, to fly into a passion, to go mad, to rush out, to come out quickly, to reflect on, to think about. Next, add the correct suffixes to the words given in the brackets and fill in the blanks choosing words from the list given below. Suffixes have been given to you. As you all know, suffixes are all those words which change the meaning of the word after adding at the end of the word. Their addition is made at the end of the given word. Hood, dome, fullness. We must work hard for free. The difference between madness and is measured by success. Wise word has been given to you. Free word has been given to you. You have to add the suffix out of hood, dome, fullness. Human journey from child to man is full of surprises. Now we will add the suffixes and make a meaning word. We must work hard for our freedom. The difference between madness and wisdom is measured by success. Human journey from childhood to manhood is full of surprises. Next, again the words have been given to you and you have to add suffixes. Truthful is essential for sweet in life. Parent is an art. Happy is an intrinsic quality. Truthfulness is essential for sweetness in life. Parenthood is an art. Happiness is an intrinsic quality. It is a vocabulary exercise. Fill in the blanks with suitable words from amongst those given in the box. Eccentric, despised, lantern, followed, questions, blue, tub, pressed. There once lived in Athens a very wise man called Diogenes. He was an fellow to show people how he fill in the blank wealth and luxury. He lived in an old tub. One day he came to the marketplace with a lighted in broad daylight. He looked at the face of everyone he met with his lantern. Now you have to fill these blanks with the given words. There once lived in Athens a very wise man called Diogenes. He was an eccentric fellow. To show people how he despised wealth and luxury, he lived in an old tub. One day he came to the marketplace with a lighted lantern in broad daylight. He looked at the face of everyone he met with his lantern. People fill in the blank, him wondering as to what he was searching, but he did not answer their fill in the blank. At last he fill in the blank out his lantern and went into his fill in the blank. When people fill in the blank him for an answer, he replied, I was looking for an honest man, but there is not a single such man in all Athens. Now we will fill those blanks. People followed him wondering as to what he was searching, but he did not answer their questions. At last he blew out his lantern and went into his tub. When people pressed him for an answer, he replied, I was looking for an honest man, but there is not a single such man in Athens. Now we will discuss an exercise related to punctuation. As you all know, all those marks which describe or which help to describe the meaning of a sentence. These are full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, question mark, mark of exclamation, inverted commas, etc. You must have read about it in your grammar books. Your first sentence has been given to you and we will punctuate it. Your first word will be capital because it is a speech, so we will start with inverted commas. Inverted comma, but be capital. But why? Question mark. I capital, isn't it absurd? I persisted. Then full stop, inverted comma, begin, I capital, I can buy as many things as I like, comma, inverted comma closed, he replied, full stop. Next sentence, J capital, John said, comma, inverted comma, begin, I capital, I am in a hurry and can't, C-A-N, apostrophe, then T. Spare time. Echo full stop, inverted comma, closed. Fatigue, P capital because it is a proper noun and first word of the sentence. Fatigue was furious, full stop. He, H capital because it is after the full stop. He cried, comma, inverted comma, begin, I capital. If you don't get Down this minute, comma, I apostrophe, then double L, I shall thrash you. Full stop, inverted comma, closed. The next sentence is inverted comma begin because it is a speech. What an easy paper. W capital. What an easy paper. It is an exclamatory sentence. So after it we have put an exclamation mark. Inverted comma close. Said Ashok. Ashok is a proper noun. So A is capital. Again full stop. After that inverted comma begin was W capital. Was it set by a kind examiner? Question mark inverted comma closed. Then next sentence is O capital. On Tuesday tea, because it is again the name of the day. So it is a proper noun. Tuesday T capital. Tuesday the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is your proper noun because we will use capital letter P and M. Prime Minister of Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the name of a country. Again it is a proper noun. So A is capital. Would reach India. I is capital because India is the name of a country. Again, it is your pronunciation practice. The plural morpheme S is pronounced in three ways. Z, bags, heads, breeds, flies, plays. In second part, B is washes, bunches, judges, asses, kisses. In C part, it is S, caps, books, laughs, cats, jumps. Again you may see bags, heads, breeds, flies, plays, washes, benches, judges, asses, kisses, caps, books, laughs, cats, jumps. Read the text carefully, learn and complete the given exercises. It is a homework for you. Thank you. Thank you so much.